if you look across the manga landscape, you notice just how many different ways artists make their work stand out. Certain mangaka might have a thing that makes their art distinct, makes them noticeable within the blink of an eye. It could be their character designs, maybe it's a specific art technique, how they draw backgrounds, hatching style, collage work, fashion choices. I could go on and on listing features that can be the defining visual of an artist's work. But for manga, a medium that, for the majority, is black, white, and maybe hints of grey, colour isn't traditionally a distinct attribute. Yet, as digital drawing and publishing within the manga space becomes more prevalent, it only makes sense that colour would too. There's plenty of manga that have a colour page at the start of a chapter, or a colour accent here or there as a motif. But none use colour, a specific colour, as boldly, as consistent, and as defining as Sumiko Arai's The Guy She Was Interested In wasn't a guy at all. Now, there have been other manga that have explored using a one-coloured accent throughout their story, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness being a strong contender. And yet, I don't think I've seen any other manga recognised at the scale as The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All for its colour alone. That yellowy green colour is so identifiable, unlike anything I've seen in the manga sphere. So much so that it's fittingly referred to and coined as the green Yuri by fans across the globe, and used by companies like Yen Press and Kinokuniya for marketing purposes. But what makes that specific green shade so successful for the manga, both from a visual front but also marketing and branding? Well, I mean, it does allow us to say Green Yuri rather than the really long, light novel worthy title for one, but there are more genuine reasons. For instance, it first started, and still is, being published on Twitter, and that's where its fandom grew due to the weekly posting. Twitter only allows for 4 images in one post, and so Sumiko Arai has to be purposeful in the few illustrations she can convey per chapter. Not being able to cram too much information in such a small amount of images means that another way to draw attention is having something distinct. And with that specific green colour, it not only stands out on dark mode, but looks great on light mode too, for the demons who use that. Which is a perfect choice, especially if your manga relies on social media marketing, because the green is part of the brand. If I were to collect several manga volume covers, blur them substantially, guess which one you can still identify because of its colour alone? Because Green Yuri owns that colour. Well, in the manga community anyways. Some might mistake it for the Brat album cover, but Green Yuri came first, so it technically takes full ownership. Honestly, it's hard to imagine the manga as any other colour. Orange, red, purple, brown, even a harsher green or another shade of yellow just wouldn't have worked. Even more so when you consider that specific green shade sits right at the spot where CMYK struggles. Too bright for standard inks, too cool for warm yellows, too neon for traditional presses. Because to achieve that intense colour, a publisher often needs either a spot colour or a very careful CMYK calibration with high quality paper stock. Spot colours do cost more, so using one for a manga series is bold, even if it did start out as a digital series. It makes a book immediately stand out because most manga can't justify the expense, which is pretty hardcore in the most nerdy way possible. This makes the colour a perfect example of accidental design meeting digital ecology, because what's hilariously interesting about all of this is that this wasn't the original idea. I could go in depth breaking down what the colour means to the story and characters from an analytical lens, but in fact, Arai herself has confirmed several times that the green was added just 15 minutes before posting the first chapter on social media, and she thought adding a dangerous colour would be cool. Can you imagine that? Green Yuri without the green? Almost blasphemous to even think about. And it's something I'm truly scared the anime might not replicate because it's so ingrained with its branding, and as I've said, that it almost feels naked without it. From the story itself to the fan art, the merch, everything is green.
You're green. I am.
Even one small, consistent visual signature, a shape, a motif, a tone, a flourish, can make your work unmistakable in a crowded digital stream. Green Yuri is one of the first breakout examples of a digital manga whose colour identity became a part of its cultural identity. And in a digital age, that kind of signature is irreplaceable. And for creators, it's a reminder that the little quirks, the odd ideas, the things that don't feel standard, can often be the choice that makes your work unforgettable. Hey guys, thanks for watching to the end of the video. As always, this one was a short video, but hopefully one that is okay, is good, enjoyable. I know it wasn't in particular about the actual story itself, but I don't have anything really specific to say about the story analytically. But the colour green, or the green in the green Yuri, I do have stuff to say. I could have wrote it in like a tweet thread, I guess, if I really wanted to, but I wanted to make a short video because I haven't really made one yet on the channel, minus one other one. So yeah, I just decided to test the waters a little bit and see how shorter videos do on the channel as well, because there's quite a few videos that I have in mind that aren't long but are still ones that I want to get out. So if you guys liked this shorter length, let me know in the comments. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one.